Anyway, we missed when we did the Hall of Fame rundown of all the people who are going to be inducted into the inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. We missed the celebrity wing. We buzzed past the entire wing and we missed that. Or has this just been announced?
I believe it was just announced. I could have missed something, but I just saw this a few days ago.
Okay, well, I guess it's new, so this is an update. Captain Kirk himself, William Shatner, in the WWE Hall of Fame. Everybody's going to want us to make fun of this, but I mean, my God, at least he's better than Drew Carey, and at least he's an icon. I mean, the other celebrities, didn't they put, who else was in? Pete Rose, he's in the baseball wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. Who are the other celebrities?
Jeez, off the top of my head, Pete Rose, William Refrigerator Perry. He wrestled at WrestleMania 2, so at least he actually had a match. Did they put Chuck Norris in? I don't remember now.
I don't know. He threw that fucking thigh-high sidekick. Poor Jeff Jarrett had to bend over to fucking sell. But at least William Shatner is a global icon, an entertainment, royalty. Makes as much sense as anything else they do, so we can't really pick it apart because it's not a real Hall of Fame. It's a entertainment thing for their company. But I was there when Shatner monkey flipped Lawler, and I was shook my head at that point. I was like, fuck, is this where it's gone, that William Shatner is going to monkey flip Jerry Lawler? He's going to go along with it. The company thinks it's a great thing. And now 25 years later, that looks like Funk and Lawler in the Mid-South Coliseum.
I found a list of celebrity inductees into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, boy. Okay.
This one, they're ranked. This is from the...
They're ranked?
Well, this is from the Sportster website, and they ranked the top 10 in order celebrity inductees based on there being 10 at this point in time. The 10th, so in last place, Drew Carey, who was inducted in 2011. Number 9, Snoop Dogg.
Oh.
He's a great rapper. You can't say anything bad about his rapping.
Okay, I know a guy that can pump the hell out of a septic tank. Does that mean he needs to go in the WWE Hall of Fame?
He may go in the AEW Hall of Fame, too, from that.
Well, but they'd have to pump it first.
Number 8, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, but in all honesty, if you're going to induct celebrities, and he came and he was into the business in his day, he respects the boys, he's a global mega politician, movie star, etc. And, so if you're going to do one, I guess you could do worse than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Number 7, Kid Rock.
Speaking of doing worse than Arnold Schwarzenegger, there you go, the exact opposite. Instead of the governor of a state and a star in major motion pictures that have grossed billions of dollars, you've got a fucking white trash trailer park redneck that fucking thought that Donald Trump should be the president. So,
but you see, that's where you're wrong. He was a rich kid who took on the persona of a trailer park, whatever you said there.
So he's a fake white trash trailer park redneck.
Yes, because if you remember, originally he was a rapper. He had a kid and play kind of haircut. I believe his dad is loaded, and he was a rich kid who started doing this. So the whole, wearing a wife beater and this and that, it's all part of his gimmick. He's working his gimmick.
But then he's the worst kind of fucking right-wing Republican crackpot, because he's really fucking just working all the goddamn poor white trash Republicans that have been deluded into believing that Trump and people like that have their best interests at heart, and he knows different. Because he's a rich fucker. He's not really a trashy, redneck, fucking crummy, clothes-wearing, coupon-clipping piece of shit. He just wants those people to buy his records. So he's worse than they are.
There are probably several words there. I'll have to bleep off YouTube, but
Are you sure there's several?
Several.
Several?
Number 6. I agree with this one. Bob Euchre.
What? You agree with what? That he should be in the WWF Hall of Fame?
I absolutely think so.
Bob Euchre. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Fucking Bob Euchre. Okay.
Number 5, Pete Rose.
And again, they're baseball heavy here.
Again, for using celebrities. Like some of these, like Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared on an episode of SmackDown. Pete Rose ran in at WrestleMania to attack Kane 3 years in a row, whatever it was. So at least he has in-ring time.
Just for money to go to the Mohegan Sun. That's all he was doing it for.
Number 4, William Refrigerator Perry.
Well, where's he been last 25 years?
I don't know, but
there you go.
Number 3.
He was very, no pun intended, very big in his day. Everybody was talking about Refrigerator Perry for about 3 years.
He even had a G.I. Joe action figure like Sergeant Slaughter. But
I thought actually that was the refrigerator that went with the Easy Bake Oven.
Number 3, real estate developer and reality show star Donald Trump.
Oh, fuck. No, pass. Continue on.
Number 2.
Try to put him out of our minds.
Number 2, real estate developer and reality show star Mike Tyson.
You know, here's the thing. It's like they've painted themselves into a corner. Instead of inducting a celebrity when a actual legitimate celebrity would be willing to be inducted, they've watered it down. They've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. They've got Mike Tyson. Now they've got William Shatner. Those are huge names. And then you have Bob Euchre or Kid Rock.
But Euchre
I'm surprised Rhonda Shear ain't in there.
That's a good one. Euchre played a part in WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 4. So there is an argument for Bob Euchre.
I played a part in a fucking assault and battery one time. That doesn't mean I ought to go to jail for 30 years.
Some people would argue that.
If you're going to put that's true. If you're going to put celebrities in the Hall of Fame, go for the big celebrities. Go for the Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Go for the Mike Tysons, whether they've had anything to do with your program or not. When you induct every D-list jack-off, that just reminds people of when you did these skits that fell flat on their face and didn't fucking work. Tyson worked. He got Austin over. Schwarzenegger's a global icon. Captain Kirk, for whatever he's worth, is beloved now, whether he monkey-flipped Lawler or not. But when you go all the way down the fucking totem pole to the dregs of society and Donald Trump, then you've just pissed all over what you're doing.
And remember, they actually had William Shatner induct Lawler when Lawler wanted Lance Russell. And Kevin Dunn said not enough people know who Lance Russell is, so they forced him to not accept, but just forced William Shatner on him as his inductor, even though those two had maybe had 2 conversations.
Had 2 interactions in their life. Well, and that's another. They had Kevin Dunn, that little fucking weasel. They expected people to go all fucking just a flitter because these minor D-list celebrities like a Drew Carey's getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, but on a wrestling program, he'd rather have William Shatner give a canned speech about a guy he's hardly ever met than have the greatest announcer in the history of wrestling do the speech and everybody would know who the fuck he was. Because remember, Kevin Dunn is the same person who said nobody in Madison Square Garden in 1997 would know who Terry Funk was. Or nobody that watching their wrestling program would remember who the Fabulous Freebirds were. So that's where you get that from. But he's a complete fucking asshole and an idiot.
Number 1 on the list.
How about all those words on YouTube?
We'll see about that. Number 1 on the list, Mr. T.
I can kind of see that. Because he was a major television celebrity, network TV star, and he was figured into the big angle that started the whole thing. So actually, he's probably the one that fits the best. And why is Cyndi Lauper not in the WWE Hall of Fame?
I think because she hasn't accepted it, quite frankly.
She has that much bitter feeling about.
I don't know. But you know who else should probably be in here, even though he never did anything with WWE? Andy Kaufman.
Oh, good Lord, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, would they have the footage and Lawler is there? Is there one would think that they've tried to do that. Why would they not have? Or is there still lingering resentment because Vince Sr. could have had it first?
I mean, you want some mainstream attention, maybe you can get Jim Carrey to come there and give a speech.
Well, if they were going to do that, that horse has left the barn. Well, they would have done that when the movie came out.
You could have Bob Zamuda come out as Tony Clifton.
But certainly, whoever is handling Andy's affairs, say that 3 times quick, wouldn't have a problem with it because of all the programs that have been done on Andy heavily mention his wrestling connection. They're not shying away from it. So why in the world wouldn't that have been something to be done? Well, they want the celebrity there in person so they can gawk and fawn over them and act like that gets them over to the rest of the wrestling fans that don't give a fuck that the celebrity is there.
And that's the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame.